We are vastly superior to humans. You know it to be true, so do not resist us. Coming to you live by a tape-delayed basis by means of digital distribution. This is Extreme Hardcore Nerds. Here are your hosts.
Look over there. Riding into town to save the day once again. It's time to round up your pulls and ride to the comic store. Here is your Extreme Hardcore Nerds Weekly Comics Report.
And we are back, and it is that time of the day where we talk comics. We talk nothing but comics. We talk everything comics. And it is also that time where I turn it over to our resident comic nerd himself, Gunnar Sippa, as he brings us all the news from pages and panels during the week. So, what is new in the world of comic books?
Oh, some little bit of news from DC, a whole lot of news from Marvel, and a little bit of independent news. But let's kick things off with DC. First off, they are applying for a new logo.
Dear
Boy,
God.
does it look like shit.
It does. I'm so, and of course I've already heard people go, well, everyone freaked out about the last logo and then they just accepted it. No, this looks stupid.
This looks as good as Lady Gaga's last album art where she was turned into a motorcycle.
Oh. Well, that would be the best look she could do for her.
Yeah. So
A machine you can ride.
I'm not on board with the new logo. I like the logo as it is now.
Seriously, it's supposed to look like that?
Yeah, wait, the sticker peeling off.
Yeah.
Just with DC Entertainment underneath it. Yeah, that's the logo.
I'm gonna puke.
Also, there was a poll on Comic Alliance. What do you think of the new DC logo? 73.3%, almost 1,000 votes, said it's the worst. 36 people thought it was the best.
36.
About 100 people each.
Out of 1,000, 36 people.
It was, who cares? Stickers are cool, and there were a couple people who just went into great detail about what they thought about it, but overall, the general consensus is
It's crap.
It sucks.
yeah.
It's crap, yes. No. Dandito, do not do this. You're still taking enough slack from the reboot.
Oh, speaking
No!
Speaking of,
DC Comics confirms 6 new 52 issues and cancels 6 others. So if you were a fan of Blackhawks, Hawk and Dove, Men of War, Mr. Terrific, OMAC, and Static Shock,
So
they have
all 6
been
of
canceled.
six. No.
They will all conclude in April with their issue number 8, but who really cares about any of those except for Static Shock? I heard Static Shock was the only thing out of that list they're kind of surprised about, that it might not have been terrible, but...
Blackhawks is the next one, or the next one I'm at right now in the 52.
It wasn't bad, it's just no one knows where to go with that.
Yeah, I read Mr. Terrific. That left me scratching my head going, what the hell is really supposed to be going on here? Hawk and Dove was nothing but a giant fisty, fighty.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard Hawk and
There
Dove.
wasn't a lot of writing. It was just a lot of fighting.
Just tons of fighting.
Yeah, just a lot of splash pages of, I punch you in the face!
But there's no wham or biff or pow.
No.
So, but in the good news, I guess, 6 new titles have been announced, and they're calling it the second wave, which includes World's Finest by Paul Levitz and George Perez.
Okay.
Dial H by China Miavelli and Matthias Santoluoco. Why can't their names ever be easy? GI Combat by J.T. Cruel and Ariel Olivetti. The Ravagers, a Superboy and Teen Titans spinoff by Howard Mackey and Ian Churchill. Earth 2 by James Robinson and Nicola Scott. And last but not least, Grant Morrison and Chris Burnham have revived Batman Incorporated.
Hopefully to wipe off that stench of Leviathan.
Okay, so you
that's
got...
what we needed, another Batman.
title.
There's just not enough Batman to go to really fuck everything in continuity.
Okay, so the Ravengers kind of pinging on my interest level a little bit. GI Combat, not at all. Dial H, which basically Dial H for Heroes.
Would it be better if it was Dial M?
I know.
Monkey.
It seems okay. Earth 2 is basically the retitled Justice Society books.
Yeah.
The two that are on my list that I'm probably going to look at is Batman Inc. just because I was previously on board
with Batman Inc. Yeah.
so at least I'll probably pick up the first couple issues, see where they try to take it. And I'm really, really interested in World's Finest. Because if everyone remembers World's Finest from the past, it was Superman and Batman together. Not this time! No, you're getting Earth 2 World's Finest, and you're putting Power Girl and Huntress together.
What? I thought it was supposed to be Power Girl and Supergirl.
No, it's it's Power Girl and Huntress, because Power Girl and Supergirl can't get near each other.
Obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Girls just don't work well together sometimes.
Well, I'm not going into that, but yeah, no. So you're basically getting the female version of Superman and Batman.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really interested in this one.
I gotta see.
I want to see this one.
I've read the #1 of Huntress, and like I said, it's an okay read. It's still kind of a head scratcher for really where she is and why she's doing this. And a lot of the things she ends up doing just don't make any sense.
Okay.
So it's like I have to get #2 before I can make any determinations of if to continue with that.
So we'll see. I mean, is it enough to where I'm gonna say I'm gonna throw down my subscription now? No, but
will it be enough to replace these other titles though?
Yes.
So far from how you're saying with those other two, not so much. So maybe another couple of new ones coming out soon here again after about 5 issues.
Oh, so
I have a question.
Yeah.
We need more Bat books.
We'll just replace them with more Batman.
Wait, hold on. Batman was in this one, which means we're gonna get Green Lantern with the next one.
And then we'll get a Superman, and then to round it all out, maybe they'll throw in Aquaman just to really screw with everybody.
Garrett, to answer your question, there's a lot of stuff going on in Batman and a lot of characters that aid him. And because it's super easy to make another hero that doesn't have powers, you know? So they've got different things. So there's about, I think, this will be the 4th regular Batman title. Though, will this be blanking his name? This won't be Bruce Wayne as Batman for Batman Incorporated, will it?
Depends on where they pick it up. Because in the first 8, yes, this was Bruce Wayne being Batman.
This was already after Road Home. Because Inc. started pretty much right after Road Home, just close to the tower right there.
Well, because this was that one shot, The Return, where they're sitting there and he sends Stephanie off to college. Oracle gets the Internet 2.0 thing, and Bruce looks at Dick and goes,
"You be Batman of
Gotham.
I got something else I need to take care of."
Yep, because I'm going to be doing this, and Damian likes you, and Gordon's okay with you too.
Yeah.
So you stay in Gotham and still be Batman.
And I think he pointed to Jason and told him to do something else.
Jason wasn't in there.
Was it not Jason?
Nope.
There was somebody else was in the shadows, and he said, "I need you for something because you're good at remaining elusive." But I couldn't tell who it was.
It might have been, because I know in the Red Hood one, he's actually wearing the bat symbol
on
his...
That's why I said it might have been him, because he's like, "You're good at being elusive, and I need you to do something."
Okay, so, I don't remember seeing him. I got to go back and look at it.
I thought it was Jason. It might have been... No, it wasn't. It wasn't Tim, because Tim was still in the Red Robin suit.
Yeah.
And he told him to continue doing what he was doing.
Yep.
So that's why I said it could have been Jason. But we'll take
anyway,
a look at that.
Yep.
So,
I was wondering.
Yeah. More Batman news, though. Because, if you're not sick of us talking about Batman yet from the last 2 podcasts, Night of the Owls will be the first 52 crossover event that will span all the Batman titles.
I am so pissed at this.
I don't know how this is gonna work.
Oh,
That means
but
that
it
there's
gets
gonna-
better because they are also raising the price of the issues to $3.99.
Yep, because they're going
Because
going
it's
up
a
to.
crossover special.
Well, no, because they're boosting the page count for Batman and Detective.
Okay.
They're going up to 40 pages, and also leading into another topic that we were going to hit. DC is also going digital download, like Avenging Spider-Man and a couple of those.
Okay, so
inside, so that's where that extra $1 comes in too for
okay, but
the-
this isn't for all titles, is it?
This is all for all the titles that are involved with the digital download. So it's like
Alright.
it's like DC, Green Lantern, Batman, Superman. I think is with it. I'm not 100% sure.
Now you're saying all the ones that have groupable collections, is this going to be all in their group or just specific titles like Detective Comics, Batman?
Just specific titles that
Alright.
so that are gonna
Okay with
have the
this.
codes. I'm sure they're gonna get more as it see how it goes. But but because of that and that they're boosting the page count, DC and Batman is going to $3.99.
All right. See,
Because
if it was just some, those $3.99s I like to pick up for double digital, but those are usually the ones that I find collectible, and that's like the number ones, maybe the number 10. Those are usually those event ones where something really big happens, and they're really noticeable for that. But I mean, all the regulars, I'm like, no. Like, all my Suicide Squads, I got number 1 wrapped, but like all the other ones, I'm like, nah, I'm fine. I'll read this hand and then put it away. So, oof. I do not have money for that.
Well, I'm just wondering because I've got my Batman subscription. Am I going to get a bill
both?
in the mail?
Yeah.
That's my question, but we'll find out.
Also, they're bringing it up to 40 pages.
Yep.
So, if you are wondering, the one who is behind the whole Night of the Owls project is Scott Snyder. If you remember, he's the one that did Batman: The Black Mirror, which was not only our pick, but a lot of picks. One of their at least top 10 comics of 2011. I believe it was our number 1. So he's good with Batman. So
Yeah,
if you're
the
not
man
reading,
knows how to write Batman.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not saying that I don't like that he's doing it. I'm coming from the standpoint from I get one Bat book. So now every month until this is over, that Bat book's going to be involving
In some other Bat book.
So, and I'm not going to get the continuance of the story unless I go buy all the other books, or I wait for it to come out and trade.
I'm kind of
my suggestion
I'm kind of hoping
is
this isn't gonna bleed into
push
Batman
through
and
it.
Batgirl
You're
either.
still going to have your contained story with the involving plot. You'll be able to find out online what's going on. Various places will be able to fill you in what you're missing, at least give you a summary, and then just wait for it to go to trade, because I would be entirely shocked if they don't put this to trade.
I hope they do.
Oh yeah, no. This will be the first big trade book that they do out of this.
So yeah, so I would say stick with what you got for now.
That was the plan.
So, but
There is a plan.
one last little bit of DC news for this week. Rob Liefeld will take over 3 DC titles. He will now, in May, he'll be taking over Deathstroke, which he will write and draw, replacing both Kyle Higgins and Joe Bennett. The Savage Hawkman, which he will help with the plot, and possibly replacing the writer Tony Daniel, and Grifter, which he will also help with the plot, possibly also replacing the writer.
I'm sorry. To me, Savage Hawkman, that's one that's on the chopping block next one around. I don't know if Rob Liefeld can save this book.
Well, he's got that glory and total disrepair to his name, so it could go vice versa with him.
Yeah. So I'm just saying.
And he's only doing on Savage Hawkman. He's only doing the writing on that, or is he doing or is he doing writing and art?
It depends on which one you're talking about.
Savage Hawkman.
That one he's doing both.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
We'll see. I'm not holding my breath on Hawkman. I was not impressed with that one.
But well, I mean, look at it this way. DC's done this before. I mean, look at oh man, I'm blanking on it. Was it Alan Moore who did Oh, hold on, I gotta look it up here. I'm totally blanking on the title, but they gave him a failing one, and he brought it back.
This is true. No, and that's why I'm saying I'm not holding my breath. I'm not.
It's not one you were already reading within great
exactly. So
anticipation.
I don't know if him being attached to it is going to be where I say be able to save it. Like for me to be able to go, okay, I'm actually going to pick this book up now. Yeah. So, but while you're looking that up, I do have a little bit of DC news to cover. First off, Miyoko has revealed that they are doing a Miyoko USB drive and micro SD memory card reader, and they're doing it in the designs of DC superheroes and Star Wars characters.
Can't skip them.
So I can finally have a flash drive shaped like Superman.
Yay?
Oh, great.
More reason.
And as long as we're talking The Last Son of Krypton, concept art came out from Factor 5's canceled Superman game, which featured Superman, Darkseid, General Zod, and Nog, and Lex Luthor.
Nice. Nog.
The concept stuff looked okay.
Did it show the actual?
No, I just basically showed the models with their arms stretched out.
So the Da Vinci poses.
Yep.
Or Petruvian Man. Don't get mad at me, art majors. God, I know both of them.
Let's see. Also, as long as we're talking DC Universe Online celebrated its 1-year anniversary by giving players who have subscribed by January 11th a special 1-year anniversary cape.
Yay!
That was just a cape with a few lines on it and a giant one in a circle in the middle.
There you go.
I was just like, okay.
Everyone knows.
And then also speaking, as long as we were talking Detective Comics beforehand, Detective Comics number 8 will offer a 10-page backup story featuring the new origins or revisiting the origins of Two-Face.
Ah.
So an idea of where Detective might be going with their next storyline.
Okay.
Hurry.
Interesting. How will they take a twist to Two-Face this time?
Am I still stalling for time?
No, I got it. I was just letting you finish your thing.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm also distracted because Jordan's trying to play this game and she's kind of struggling with it, and it's really funny to watch. And she's getting really frustrated.
Watching the pain of others. Is
But so it was So, oh my God! Now I'm feeling like an idiot.
Stop failing me.
God damn it! Which one's with DC? Is it Swamp Thing or is it
Swamp Thing? Yes.
Okay. Back in the day when Alan Moore was getting started, Swamp Thing was like one of those DC comics that was on the chopping block, and he took it, did amazing work with it, and completely revived the series and launched his career. With Rob Liefeld, he's already made a name for himself,
yes,
so maybe this is what those comics need, is someone with a strong background, knows what they're doing, and to relaunch these series. But, there. It's out there. Done. Moving on. Marvel news. In April, because you know you're not sick of crossover events yet, the Omega Effect will be crossing over Avenging Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Punisher. I can't see this being bad, considering Avenging Spider-Man and Daredevil are two of the hottest things on Marvel right now.
That's what I was going to say. I'm actually kind of interested in this one, just because I know Daredevil is like red hot right now. Avenging Spider-Man is a decent title, and then you've got Punisher just coming off Punisher Max,
which I heard I thought was going down.
Yep.
Getting ready to get out.
Yep. So they're about to wrap up that storyline, and as soon as they do, they're hopping that character over to here. So potential.
So yeah, it will be a 3-part crossover starting with Avenging Spider-Man number 6. It's going to be an organic component of the current Daredevil and Punisher ongoing titles.
All right.
And yeah, but they had a teaser for it, which was really cool because it was the Punisher skull with the Daredevil mask falling apart around it, wrapped in webs. and
Nice.
they've
That's actually
showed
pretty
off
cool.
a few of the covers for the upcoming issues, and this is, well, I'll already be getting the Avenging Spider-Man stuff, but this looks good, so
You'll have to
take a
let me
look at
know.
it.
You'll have to let me know how this one is, because
Yeah.
like I said, this
Same
this one
here.
has my attention.
Same here.
Yep.
All I got is Spider-Man.
But for those who are looking for more stuff to come out in April, Cullen Bunn and Alessandro Vitti, two guys that worked on The Sixth Gun and Secret Warriors, will be writing Captain America and Hawkeye.
Who did you have to piss off to get a name like Cullen Bunn?
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa. Where is this coming from?
I'm
Why
just
do you
saying
have
this is
against
one
it?
of the more unique names I've
heard in a
ever
while?
heard of. I'm not saying he can't do the job. I mean, he's coming off of The Sixth Gun.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's respect there for the work. I'm just saying, he's a very interesting name. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less.
I like The Sixth Gun, and I'm excited for the TV show. I'm not saying it's groundbreaking, but I'm saying it's good.
Again, I'm not attacking the work.
He's just attacking the name.
I don't
The
know.
guy's name.
Go play with your Superboy.
Oh, I like that.
Oh. And of course, that is going to be a four-issue miniseries.
So,
Yeah.
nice little one-shot.
But, you know, more story arcs. A 6-issue arc, Avengers Assemble, Walt Simonson, and Brian Michael Bendis will have the prelude to the Avengers vs. X-Men major crossover. So, yeah. 6-issue arc starting with April's issue 25. So,
Yep.
April's shaping up to be a big month.
I guess the Avengers don't like mutants. Wait,
Uh,
are mutants human now, or are they just...
I totally didn't hear what Garrett said.
No, 'cause-
He was asking if there was any more ruling on that court case about
Oh.
oh, the
mutants being-
X-Men. No, nothing
Yeah.
I've
Nope,
read yet.
nothing yet. Haven't been able
So-
to fight if they're not human.
If you couldn't get your fill of Avengers, there's a new Marvel Avenger Alliance game coming to Facebook. So all you Farmville and Mafia Wars fans, go grab your capes and shields and
You
mutant genetic
go
cells.
pass.
It looks interesting.
Junior.
I joined the group and I've been getting the updates, and this will probably be something I'll be looking into.
Have they shown anything what it looks like? Like, will it be top down like an actual game, like the?
It
the Alliance?
looks like JRPG Marvel.
Okay.
So you've got your heroes on one side, and they got health and stamina, and then you choose attacks and then attack
so
the
it's all
villains.
text-based. Oh, okay.
So you gotta remember it's a Facebook game.
Exactly.
We don't have high hopes for it.
I didn't.
But,
think that- I
Something
didn't
to
think,
keep
like,
me
the X-Men-
entertained
I didn't
while
think, like,
I'm waiting for the Avengers to come out.
I thought it would be. I didn't think the X-Men Alliance games were that high tech and spec. Could have put that on Facebook. Jeez.
So
Well, they could have put X-Men Destiny on there. It might actually did better.
No,
But,
they would have been making moral choices and wondering why the hell they have no sense. Continue, Gunnar.
So one last Marvel story here, real quick. Something I'm excited for. I'm sure maybe a couple other of yous are excited, but Ultimate Spider-Man, the TV show, will be coming to Disney XD April 1st and kicking off their Marvel programming block.
So Cartoon
Will it
Network's
be-
got DC,
And
Disney's
the-
got Marvel. Go figure.
Will this be the new Spider-Man?
Yes, this is the new Ultimate
Yep.
Spider-Man.
This is,
not-
yeah. Well,
this
I
is
don't
not
think
like
it will
the Sony
be
and Warner Brothers thing that
Miles.
they had on
It-
CW. That
Yeah.
yeah.
This is going to be Ultimate Spider-Man #1, Peter Parker starting off. Though I think that would be really good for
No,
one
it's
season.
the
Season
Resident
finale is Peter getting killed and having Miles pick it up.
That's what I
even-
thought. I thought it would have been Miles this time, just to really add that new sense to it.
So
Nope. And I'm not really shocked about this because that was announced long before we even knew anything about Miles. We knew Peter was dying, but we didn't know who was going to pick it up or anything. But
Yeah.
I'm not shocked, and I'm excited.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Peter's Spider-Man. He can't die.
he has.
He has.
It happened. We all moved on, and we're much happier right now.
Yes.
But I thought he was
Tobey
the Man of
Maguire
Steel.
sucked
Oh, shut up.
Oh, come on. You know I had to get that dig in.
Yeah, I know.
More quick stories for the rest of the week. Artist Fiona Staples, who is working on the project Saga, the major work coming from Brian K. Vaughan, who you know from Why the Last Man
And Ex Machina.
and Ex Machina, caught flack this week from another fellow artist, Dave Dorman, because of the promotional cover for Saga's issue #1, where one of the main characters is breastfeeding. Yeah.
Yeah,
There-
exactly.
There's
I'm trying to refer
no
to a Penn and
nudity,
Teller episode in
there's
my head as
nothing
we speak.
profane about it, and his statement was that he thought it was a low blow, shock value measures, and marketing a comic to kids with adult content on the cover.
The only
And that's where his statement completely falls flat.
I was gonna say the only thing that comes to mind is that 2-part episode of Married with Children where Al kicks a woman out for breastfeeding in the store and Marcy comes back
God,
and they do the big protest. And then the second episode is Al climbing the mountain to talk to Ironhead Haynes about getting the 10 Commandments for men that only turn out to be 9 that I could recite religiously now.
Let's not. Yeah.
But so he caught the attention of a lot of media, and nobody wanted to take his side on this one. Everyone just lashed out at him.
It's a bad statement
The
when
best
you say it
part
was
is
for
he caught a
kids.
lot of I don't know how to say, but like from like mother groups saying that breastfeeding is
It's
not offensive,
And that's why, and that's what would really help that other traction for them is that, yeah, you're going against breastfeeding. It's like, no, now you're attacking the mothers, and they're not gonna. Their hormones are already insane.
Like,
So
did he know when he was young he was breastfeeding himself?
No, it's not always true.
It's not a guarantee that he was breastfed.
Breastfed, yeah.
No,
wasn't.
that's quite true. Yeah.
I bit.
But
I know I wasn't. They've told me
So.
more than enough. They said the moment you came out, we did it once, and they said, nope, not again.
so
Okay.
yeah, moving on from
I got
nipple
motherfuckers
sucking.
Even in the hospital. They weren't taking a chance.
Yeah. We're just gonna move on from that story. Last story for the week is the I'm blanking on words today. I'm getting worn out. The sales from 2011. So with a shocking lead, Marvel came out on top with total sales being at #1.
After that debacle that was Fear itself,
And the rise of 52. Amazing. They still
Marvel
pulled
hung
out.
in there.
I
They-
called them impressive.
I call bullshit.
I call them impressive, sir.
Total way above Justice League, because Justice League for that couple weeks had that rise on them for about 3 weeks when their first few issues were coming out, but after that nobody cared. And Marvel just had enough going on outside of Fear itself.
It wasn't that we didn't care. It was, okay, wait a second. This is happening here. But did this happen? Well, this didn't happen, but this happened. But this happened because of this. So, but how? What the hell?
Yeah. Those last month's sales were were all DC at the win, but the beginning of the year was all Marvel.
Marvel, yeah.
So
Yeah.
they took enough of that beginning year to that point to sustain numbers, and just all those little numbers in between at the end were just enough to keep that number high without completely toppling over to DC in the 52. So
And you got to remember, Free itself is just one little thing. Where DC, we're talking about their entire line.
Library,
They had to
yeah.
compete with Marvel, which has multiple
Multiple,
lines that are
there,
doing really
yeah.
successful, like Daredevil and Amazing Spider-Man and Avenging
Daredevil
Spider-Man.
only just got successful again.
Yeah.
Tor-
Ever since it got
towards-
renumbered.
Yeah, towards the new Megan,
Yeah.
he got really big. The beginning of those months were not that high.
But that's what I'm saying. Those three were all around the new 52 time, and
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not surprised by this at all. Anyways, when it came down to dollar shares, Marvel finished with 37.29% of the share and 40.93 unit share, beating DC, who had $31.41 share and 36.77 unit share.
Okay.
For the indie groups, Image came in at third, followed by a tie between Dark Horse and IDW. But moving into the top trades, in the top 10 trades for 2011, Walking Dead held 6 of the positions.
Of course it fucking did.
Thank you to that TV show.
Yeah.
First, second, fourth, fifth, 8th, and 9th, all held by Walking Dead, and that's just top 10. You keep going down, and Walking Dead just shows up all over the place.
It's not surprising. That thing is just so hot.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Even though a lot of people
if you're
are
wondering
starting-
which trades to pick up, I've got a good indicator which ones.
Yeah.
But
Kirkman! Oh, God. Kirkman got a poo!
But moving into single issues, this may not seem shocking.
God, we just...
Top 10 single issues, DC held the top 10 spots, except for one. In 6th place, Ultimate Spider-Man number 160.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
I would suspect that he would be him. It'd be either him or Daredevil.
Yep.
He'll take that spot.
And even better, if you want to look at Marvel's other top places, Fantastic Four number 587, the death of Johnny Storm. Below that, Fear itself number 1. Even lower down the line, Amazing Spider-Man number 666. And then Ultimate Comics Fallout number 4, the debut of Miles. And FF number 1.
Not too shocking on these
That's
polls at all.
the top
Not-
25. Only a handful from Marvel. DC's, their number 1s, 2s, and 3s completely dominated the end of the year.
When
That's not surprising.
it's not surprising at all. So all of our predictions for most of that are fairly well founded and came true. You know, so at least it sounds, in the general scheme of things, good year for comics though.
Yes.
Yes.
A good year for comics. And hopefully this year will be just as surprising. Even with all the crosses still continuing and a lot of new continuity coming out and a lot of old ones being rewritten, and we have no idea where the hell we're going.
Hopefully DC won't have to completely reboot everything they have just to stand a chance.
All I can say right now is when I get to Chicago for C2E2, there's going to be a lot of panels taken in because I'm going to be the guy sitting there just hand me the microphone. I got questions.
I'm hoping that you're that guy in the wrong panel with the wrong costume. I really hope that.
Oh.
You should come in dressed as a Static Shock. As a Miles character. Really, you should do that.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because that's totally gonna get us off on another tangent. I do have just a couple items to add quick. One of them, as long as we're talking C2E2 and Comic-Cons and all that fun stuff, all those wonderful events that bring us every year, Richard Elf, the co-founder of Comic-Con, passed away earlier this week.
Dun, dun,
That's
dun.
another one.
Dun,
So-
dun, dun.
One of the founders of Nerd Mecca, unfortunately, has left us.
We all placed a comic on the ground for him.
And then last but certainly not least, for all you Star Trek fans out there, and all you folks that are going to school for bioengineering, chemical engineering, any kind of engineering, any kind of computer design, computer programming, the X Prize Foundation would like to talk to you. Actually, they would like to give you money. $7 million to be in fact. What do I have to do, you might ask? Very easy. Invent the Star Trek tricorder. What the fuck? Yes, the medical device used in Star Trek The Next Generation. They want you to actually invent one in real life. Your prize, $7 million. And I'm guessing also lots of opportunity in the medical field.
Yeah.
I have some big news.
What?
Did you guys know THQ went under?
Wait, what?
Say that again.
One more time?
I'm finding stuff on Reddit right now that THQ might have been shut down and selling everything.
Ah, live news right now, apparently.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wait, but this is from Reddit, so everything with a grain of salt here. Can you find a more reputable source? Like
pull up G4.
Like, are there any links to
I'm pulling up G4 right now.
Pull up Detoid.
I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, apparently
pull up Game Informer
is going under.
Yeah.
Oh wow. We're apparently making this one some big news live this time. So THQ is said to go under now after that announcement we just made about them re-releasing.
Hold on, I'm pulling up like 5 different areas to check on it.
So I was gonna say, what was in the pipeline for THQ anyway, besides that one shooter?
Uncharted, or not
Uncharted, Undisputed.
Obviously Homefront, the WWE series, Metro Last
Light.
Trying to think, what else did they have coming out this year?
I know they killed 2 other franchises off, and one of them was
They so what I'm getting is from their Twitter right now. So I mean that's as reliable as it can be. But Kevin Dent has his last few tweets have been apparently the Games Workshop MMO has been canceled. They canceled all of their 2014 titles. They are offering themselves to Asian firms for sale, and they have returned all of the Disney IPs after paying the advance with no refund.
Okay.
Wow, they might be sinking.
They might. It sounds like they're trying to get anything they can in bank to keep the doors open, kinda.
So I don't know. This is just rumors. We'll keep an eye on it. But
yes, later to come during the weekend, of course. If anything else does break, it will be on our cast next week.
Wow.
And well, tonight even if we do an afterthought, this might be the big story. All of a sudden.
That's rather shocking and surprising, out of nowhere.
So
I kind of wonder what happened.
No kidding.
Like what was the one thing that just was to just cause them to completely just fall?
So
I don't know, because don't they have what do you call it, Darksider, or not Darksiders,
Dark Souls?
But no, that's not them.
Dark Souls.
No, that's
don't they?
That's from FromSoft. That's made by FromSoft, and was published. It's been published by 2 companies. Last time, the first one was Dark Souls, and that was published by Atlas. And after that, I believe for the state, I don't know if it was published by them, but it's not made by them.
But they have Saints Row, don't they?
Yeah, Saints Row.
Yeah, Violation.
But that's Violation, so.
But THQ
is the publisher, but they don't have to be published by them. So, but it still would bring in revenue. So I don't know. They might just be running for money to just keep the doors open and keep themselves in publishing business. But I don't know if the company itself has completely fallen off.
So, with all that having been said, that does bring comic news for a close this week, and a little bit of gaming news sunk in there in between. But last but certainly not least, we do have our review of Amy coming up next. And also, if there's any other developments on this breaking THQ story, we will let you know in just a few moments. So if you haven't wanted to beforehand, this would be the perfect opportunity to stay with us, as we will be right back.
Ready, set, game on.
And we are back, and it is that time where we talk games. We talk our thoughts on games. We talk reviews. And this week we have a review of the survival horror download game, Amy.
I would almost not even call that survival horror in some aspects.
This is where I turn it over to you.
That guy?
That guy.
Hey, can you tell us the end of Amy?
No.
Because we're not going to play
No.
it.
Spoilers.
No, I can't.
Spoilers. Journalistic integrity.
You're not a journalist. Only this one is. Hardly at
Yeah.
times.
I'm a writing major. I'm kind of a journalist.
Oh, God.
I took journal classes.
I just pointed to you. God.
Unless you pointed at yourself. Sorry. Anyway, Amy.
No, Amy, review. It's time. Yes. It's that. Survival horror. It is not. Amy comes from the lovely guys at Vector Cell. Lovely little downloadable game that we talked about not too long ago that I also kind of hyped my own personal self with. And bad. So fucking bad. On every level. I didn't even play that game long enough to find anything good in there. It's that bad. To even just start off, the whole premise of Amy is actually really, really brilliant. The whole writing it down on paper is a really great idea. But Amy's whole premise is, with the start, you start off on a train headed towards a is it Starlight City or Starlit City? You're heading off on a train coming from a research facility, I'm guessing. And you have a little girl with you who called as Amy, and your character is Lana. And you're apparently trying to get Amy to some safe haven or something to protect her from God knows what. And, of course, all of a sudden, a lovely little catastrophic bomb happens in a flash, and train apparently crashes, and you wake up in a station, Amy missing, and, of course, you're tasked with to find her and get out of this. Of course, you're set upon right away with the fact that apparently something has happened within the station, and I can't tell if they're zombies or
I don't know what
they're
they
just
are.
people who
They're
are...
just infected people.
Well, it's hard to tell if they're infected with a disease or they're possessed, because the very first body
I know. Because on the back of Lana, there's a radiation thing that breeds radiation, so they could be like radiated or something like that.
People
like
that are
monsters.
radiated don't have what looks to be symbols burned into their foreheads, so you can't really tell. You don't know. But the whole premise is basically to escape from this area with your companion Amy, and Amy herself is an autistic, apparently. She doesn't speak, but she does have weird little abilities that you can find throughout the game. But just to get to the bedrock of the whole point, this game steals all of its tropes from other horror survival games. And that's okay for most things you would suspect, but it steals all of the bad kind of tropes of the game. The controls, which are modern, you do get to use the analog stick, you do get to, you're able to move and turn, but it has all of the bad functionalities of like the old Resident Evil 1 kind of games. So when you try to turn, it's literally like jagged edge kind of turning. It's like trying to drive a limo down an alleyway. It's fucking hard. And to mention that if you run against other objects, you almost get stuck to them at times. So that makes it even worse. Some of the game mechanics they have in here is, like Garrett said, apparently there's some kind of radiation around, and being without Amy, apparently you will slowly get infected. That would be a cool trope to play with, being the kind of companion attachment which you can get, I would say, from something like Ico. You would have to lead Amy around by the hand, but you can also kind of let her stray and she will follow behind you. But the problem being is if you stray too far, you slowly become infected, but it happens almost instantly. The moment you walk away from her, you're in the yellow. So you can't be away from her for too long, which if you're starting out in the game, you don't have that lovely little strap, you don't notice it until you're pretty much at that point of dying. She'll slowly become infected, and you'll see her in her face, but also the screen will slowly turn red. She'll stumble as she walks. And you have to get to Amy within proximity, and she'll heal you. And being with her, she'll also slowly heal you even if you take damage. So you don't always have to find a little med pack to heal yourself. The other little trope for that, though, that they played with is being infected. You can also walk around other infected enemies. They won't notice you as much. This whole game is basically set up in puzzle stages. So everything is basically trying to figure out a way to get from one area to the next. Combat mechanics are poor. It's like Dead Island
with the stick.
Minus all the other weapons. The only weapon you get, the only weapon I got was able to get in the entire game was basically just a metal pipe, which will break pretty much after any conflict with any
Great, so Silent Hill.
3 enemies or something like that? Or
the Silent Hill trope in there, all over. Hiding mechanics pretty much stayed the same in there, hiding in underneath desks, tables, and walls. To put it more better, I did not finish this game. I couldn't finish this game. The game itself is almost set up to weigh against you in any level of aspect. The design is awful. There are visual glitches everywhere. Amy got a light, and apparently being in a lit room with a light, it doesn't like that. Everything in the room started to flash. The walls, the floor, the ceiling, the countertops, the desks, the chairs, everything. I don't know. Reused animations are all over this game. And there is the loving system of no savable checkpoints. You have a checkpoint from certain area to certain area, but it does not save that until you complete a certain level. So even if you leave that game on a checkpoint, you will have to restart the entire level from the other points.
And Amy has a really creepy smile.
And playing the same animations over and over again. There is no skipping scenes. So you'll have to relive her jumping at a steam vent that pops up, and it's the same thing. All of the horror aspects you can see coming. You will know when a guy will bust out of a wall or bust through a door. There's no shock value there whatsoever. Uncanny Valley is hell. Everyone in this game is scary looking, even the people. The very first guy you see is a black guy on a train, and he does this all the time as he talks to you with unflinching eyes. You could sell this game into Paranormal Activity.
Oh, God.
800 Microsoft points, $9.99 for PSN. You can pass this. I have not.
If it votes,
I have not strongly adamant that you pass the game on any level. If we needed a reason for that survival horror was kind of dead in the old aspects, this is it. This totally put the nail in that coffin.
Which is really depressing.
It is very depressing.
How much we were saying, oh, this is going to be a really good game. This is going to be a really good game. It seems really, really good. Like, the concept is there. It just,
all the concept that they gave us and the idea is flawless in that level. It plays on all the ideal old tropes of the survival horror, adding in elements of, like, Clock Tower and Silent Hill and Resident Evil. You know, you can still fight, but it's not always the most wise suggestion to do. I mean, even when you do the fighting, it's almost a crapshoot that you're ever going to hit the character.
Nice.
Because, I mean, it's literally this, but there's no indication of your distance of hitting the person. So at times, I've actually had a fight with one of the guards where we're both swinging at each other and no one's taking damage. It's a high school project made the last night before it was due.
Ouch. Okay.
And I don't say that lightly. I know how long it takes to make one of these kinds of games, how much time and energy. It's just that whole idea of someone had to realize that this was broken and it's not going to get fixed.
We're just putting it out there
and they
anyway.
just had to do it because of how much they put into it.
Oh.
It's a Duke Nukem.
Yes, it's a Duke Nukem. We are coining that term. Done. It is a Duke Nukem. Maybe not as much time behind it, but yeah. They just had to finish this.
Well, with that having been said,
score 1.1.
Ouch.
Okay. That's generous.
Well, like, okay, so the walkthrough I've seen was, I've only seen, I think, like an hour, maybe 2 hours of the walkthrough so far. But, like, the people are freaky looking, yeah. Like, you don't know if they're good, if they're bad, or whatnot. It is an interesting concept of bringing Amy. You need to hold Amy's hand or whatever to get to be healed or to get out of the radiation, stuff like that. There's radiation pools, let's say, on like the ground that you gotta stay away from.
She's just like.
But it looks like the controls are so sticky. It's like you gotta hold RB and then B, or I mean, yeah, RB and then the
holding multiple
B.
control buttons is a facet for this game. So to run, you have to hold right bumper to jog, and then you have to spam the X button to sprint.
Yeah, and then she's doing all this on high heels?
Yeah. And
okay, I'm sorry, like, when I was first looking at this game, like, I don't know, like, what, 3 months, 4 months ago when we were talking about it, Stefan, it looked really, really good, and then it came out, it's just like, what the heck is this?
It's the whole idea, which we'll talk later on, the afterthoughts of screenshots and videos showing you all the game working in a flawless manner, or rendered in a way that doesn't show any of the
I liked it that you got, like, it had, like, a clock tower feel or something like that, but then, like, everything else sucked on it.
It steals a lot of tropes from any horror survival game. Resident Evil, Clock Tower, Silent Hill, all of them it has in here, but it does every one of them in those really bad ways that we remember.
During the cinematics, there's still shots. It's comic still shots. It's not like really a cinematic. It's still shots of what?
We got it. It is bad.
Yeah, you don't have to repeat everything we just said. But with that does bring this Extreme Hardcore Nerds podcast to a close this week. You got a little bit of everything in this cast, so we hope you enjoyed it. I have been your host, Andy Kruger, along with
the guy who's just saddened in the corner and has to remind himself he spent $800 points on that goddamn game.
And that Akira's not dead.
and with us on Skype this week,
I'm gonna fucking find you.
Hiding for his life from the Dark Reaper, Gunner Sipper.
And also with us,
the guy who's eaten a lot of clementines, scared for.
Peace, everyone.
See you later, folks.